to the finals for LeBron, but he appears to not be taking them lightly, saying, quote, "The respect level is out of this world for what we have for this ball club." Oh, interesting. Slick Ric Bucher is back with us, but Acho, any concerns LeBron's Lakers won't respect the Nuggets?
I have no concerns at all. Marcellus, what I learned about the Lakers, and even in listening to Kuzma, unlike the Clippers, the Lakers don't play with their food. The Lakers realize what's on the table and they go straight in to eat.
The lying Kuzma?
Kuzma was keeping it 100 at that point in time with that quick soundbite. But that's yesterday's show. Let's move on with the present. The Lakers, they respected every opponent in the bubble, but more importantly, the Lakers actually respect the bubble. Think about this, and this is when I knew the Lakers were going far. When Alex Caruso skipped his sister's wedding because he was like, man, if I come back and I'm going to have to quarantine, it's not worth it. I'm like, yo, bro, that's your whole sister's wedding. The Lakers respect the bubble. Lakers haven't had anybody miss the bubble outside of Rondo, and that was injury. So the Lakers, unlike other teams, they respect their opponents. But really, again, you look at the history of it all. The last time the 1 seed lost the conference finals to a 3 seed was 2009. The Cavs lost to the Magic. Let's think who were on those teams. LeBron James, he was on the Cavs. Dwight Howard, he was on the Magic. Both those players now currently on the Lakers. So they have opposite ends of the spectrum. LeBron knows exactly what happens if you don't take those 3 seeds seriously. If you don't take those 3 seeds seriously, then you aren't going to win that game. Dwight Howard also knows, hey, I was that 3 seed. I was that team that got slept on. And if you sleep on me, I'm going to make you pay. So when I think about this Lakers team led by LeBron, they're not going to sleep on the Nuggets. They're going to give them all the respect they deserve.
Yeah, I think they're going to respect them to the fullest for a different reason, different reasons. It just hits you different when it hits you close to home. Remember I said that as I take you through some examples. One, you ever been watching the news, especially if you're watching world news, and you're like, wow, what's going on? All this crime, bombings, all this violence. And you walk out the house kind of affected, but really on your normal day. But what if you saw not what was on the news, but you saw it in your neighborhood? You were driving to work. That hits you a little differently as well. What if it's actually not just in your neighborhood, it's at your neighbor's house and you see the crime scene or something like that. You see tape around there. It hits you different. And that's why LeBron and the Lakers are going to take the Nuggets seriously. One, it hit them close to home, the Clippers. They share the same city, same building, and a lot of those guys know each other very well despite their appearances on the court. But two, LeBron James, oh, it hit you right where it hurt before. Getting cocky in a series before. In the finals before. Prior to Game 5, Bron and Wade making fun of Dirk for allegedly suffering from the flu during Game 4. Y'all remember this?
Oh, did y'all hear me cough? Think I'm sick. Weather is crazy.
It's hard to go from 85-degree weather and then go to 90.
Man down. Man down.
Oh, Dirk didn't want the sauce. They were looking at Dirk like he was a nugget. No. Dirk came back the next game, 29 on their head, and you know the Mavs closed out that series. So the point is, LeBron has felt it too close to home to ever take something for granted.
You guys are asking me to make the same mistake I made with the Clippers, which is not to pay attention to the clues that are being laid right before me to anticipate what is going to happen.
What you talking about?
Are you guys kidding me? By the way, Acho, Kuz keeping it 100. Oh, so this is the time he decided to keep it 100, huh? When his trainer was ripping LeBron and he followed up with a spade is a spade. He wasn't keeping it 100 that time. Or back when they had all the young guns and they were being traded, and hey, there's no problem between us and LeBron. He's just trying to throw us all to New Orleans. He was keeping it 100 there. Yeah, okay. Guys, we're not saying this is we craft these questions. I appreciate this. We craft these questions very carefully. It doesn't say, are the Lakers going to lose to the Nuggets? It's, are the Lakers going to respect the Nuggets? No, they're not going to respect the Nuggets based on what I've just seen, because I heard them talking about how much they respected the Blazers going into Game 1. And how did that go? Oh, they lost that game. They were going to respect the Rockets because they had the #1 defense in the bubble. What happened in that Game 1? Oh, they lost that one too. The Lakers, if they've demonstrated anything, is that you have to earn their respect.
But Slick,
and I'm sorry, but we talk all year long about this being Clippers-Lakers.
They're killing it.
They heard that. Lakers-Nuggets. It's just
Slick, you're not being fair, Slick.
Nah, Slick,
you're not being fair.
Slick,
let me tell you why.
that.
Slick, remember the Rockets game, I don't know if it was about a lack of respect or about a long layoff. The Lakers have been chilling. They was a little bit rusty.
What do we have now?
Yeah,
what do we have now?
But to me, I'm not saying that the Lakers are going to sweep the Nuggets. I'm just saying they're going to respect them. If the Lakers lose tonight, it's not going to be because of lack of respect. If the Lakers lose tonight, it's because Danny Green probably going to go 0 for 6 from three-point line. KCP probably going to go 0 for 4, and Kuzma going to act like he's still 19 again, shooting reverse layups on air. Like, if the Lakers lose, it's not because of a lack of respect. I'm not saying the Lakers can't lose one game. I think the Lakers are going to win 4-1. It's going to be a gentleman's sweep. Y'all have me on the record. But I am saying that it's not going to be because of a lack of respect. Slick, don't do that.
Slick, get him back, Slick. You're winning. You're up on the cards. Get him.
If I'm not mistaken, the Lakers played the Nuggets 4 times this year.
They
beat them 3 out of 4 times. The one time that they lost,
LeBron wasn't playing.
LeBron James did not play.
Correct.
Acho, I love this idea of if they lose game 1, it won't because they didn't respect them. It was because the Nuggets were better. Like, wait, what? No, the Lakers are the #1 seed in the Western Conference, and they were playing the lesser of the 2 teams that they were expected to play. You don't lose game 1. You don't lose game 1.
Slick.
Oh, you know what? The Nuggets were just
Slick.
Well, they're better than we thought they were.
But really,
okay, well then.
Realistically speaking,
Realistically now, we haven't been in reality. This hasn't been real.
Acho.
Shut up, Marcellus.
Acho.
What else, Slick?
Who do you have winning tonight's game?
The Lakers. Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
Why?
Because they're the Lakers. They're
the better team.
Of course.
So if they lose tonight, being the better team, well, it's because the only thing that could be is because they didn't respect the Nuggets to the level that they should have.
If the Lakers saw the Nuggets just beat the Clippers, if the Lakers saw the Nuggets beat the Jazz in 7, if the Lakers saw Jamal Murray go for 142 in 3 games, something we've only seen Jerry West and Michael Jordan do in the playoffs, 3 games consecutively, collectively, how can you say that LeBron is going to see all of that and pay that no mind and no respect?
Because he did the same thing with the Blazers. The Blazers came out of nowhere to clinch that playoff spot. The Blazers were the team that everybody said, including LeBron James. LeBron James said, they're not an 8th seed. They have all our respect. They're a tough team. And what did they do? They laid an egg that first game. They came out and said, basically, they talked the respect talk, but they did not walk the respect talk. So, look, I don't know if that's going to happen tonight. All I'm saying is, the history with the Lakers in these playoffs tells me that I should be concerned that they are going to respect the Nuggets to the level that they should.
Oh, I got to break this up right now. I go back to Menace to Society after Jack in the Box. Cousin Harold laying down there. He dead. He dead. Acho, you gone. You dead. Oh, we got to
commercial.
Go to commercial. Oh, you want to get into a value conversation, you lose again. Giannis was not playing with the same level of talent that LeBron James was. Chris Middleton is not Anthony Davis. Not a single soul in this world has said that Chris Middleton is a top 5 player. But everybody walking this planet knows that Anthony Davis is a top 5 player. So even in a value conversation, when you're related to the resources around you, you lose that conversation, price and value. But let me get to my points since I got to defeat Charles first all the time.
I'm bored. What's your point?
I told you a long time ago I like math over English because math has no feelings. It's just numbers. And you didn't like my numbers before, and you try to poo-poo on them. Like that's all I brought. I got 2 back pockets, brother. Here's some more numbers for you in case you don't like this. Giannis is a guy who went out there and lost only 9 games when he was on the court in the regular season, as the award dictates. 48-9 at the time of voting, didn't lose 2 games in a row on the Milwaukee Bucks. Best player on the best team by the numbers, and he improves on his performance with less around him. That's why this guy is the most valuable.
The Bucks aren't the best team.
Malcolm Brogdon wasn't there this year, and he made up for that difference.
Slick,
LeBron added the top 5 player in the world.
I'm getting dumber.
And you trying to act like
I'm getting dumber.
that doesn't have the
impact. The longer I sit at this desk, Slick Rick, I'm getting dumber. My IQ has dropped 10 points.
He doesn't win in numbers. He doesn't win in value. Where does he win?
Marcellus.
Yes, sir.
You went to the other back pocket and you pulled out more numbers. I thought that was a different back pocket.
That's all I got.
You just keep going numbers and numbers. Here's the funniest part about this, and it's why I don't begrudge LeBron or feel bad for LeBron and the fact that he did not win MVP. And it's because he benefited from this exact same thing in 2010. That was the summer of LeBron. He had numbers better or as good as the numbers he had the previous year. So how could he not be MVP again? Much like Giannis Antetokounmpo. And what happened that year? The Cavs got knocked out in the second round. And meanwhile, Kobe Bryant, who should have been the real winner, ends up taking the Lakers to a title in spite of the fact that Pau Gasol and a number of other Lakers were hurt. Andrew Bynum hurt through the majority of the year. So we didn't understand exactly what Kobe Bryant was doing unless you watched the games and understood all of the plays that Kobe made to carry that team through tough times. Giannis Antetokounmpo breezed through the regular season. Yes, they didn't have Malcolm Brogdon. How often do teams get to prepare for the Bucks on a nightly basis saying, we're going to take advantage of the fact that they don't have Malcolm Brogdon? Doesn't happen during the regular season. As soon as they got to the postseason, you got to find out exactly how important Malcolm Brogdon was to the Bucks and how less valuable Giannis Antetokounmpo was. So LeBron didn't get it. He deserved it.
He did.
But you know what? We've seen this before because there are too many voters who lean back on the statistics.
Like Marcellus.
They don't want to be caught out.
Lazy
they
voters.
don't want to use the real eye test, which both of you know that eye test. You saw it last night in terms of who the better quarterback is, the more valuable quarterback is. I don't care what the numbers say. You understand that, which is why I don't get the argument for Giannis in this situation.
You know what's so crazy?
What's crazy?
You guys don't want to stay in the field of play to make your argument. You're telling me about the running back that runs out of bounds and all of a sudden on the sideline start doing all this stuff. And then you're like, yo, look at what he's doing on the sidelines. When you're Giannis versus LeBron in the MVP discussion, it has to happen in the regular season. I don't give a damn. I'm sorry, LeBron. You guys are trying to undermine Giannis's value without using numbers. But look, anytime you want to show any transaction of value, if I walked into your house right now, Slick Rick, and I saw all those